Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's something serious. Where my girls at? We linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
Well, happy Monday. Happy Monday. We are here. It's your girl, Caterina Harris Earl, coming to you live, coming in hot from Brentwood, California, literally coming in hot. I mean, when I tell you coming in hot,
Good.
I mean, we just look outside and say, what number behind the 100 is it going to be today? So I think today, maybe 103, maybe 106. We've gotten to 109. It has been hot out here. You are listening to We Got Issues. You are listening to 910 a.m. the Superstation WFDF. We promise always to keep it powerful, positive, and not Pollyanna. I mean, when I tell you we got a lot of issues to talk about today, we got a lot. You may hear my printer going off in the background. We got issues, printer, fan, everything. And y'all, today is going to be another hot show. Happy Monday to our Facebook audience and our audience listening from the D and our audience all over the world. iHeartRadio, the app. How are you listening in? We want to know. And today we want you to call in because we have a 19-year-old superstar on the show today, going to be talking about how he is slaying in the stock market. Just inspiring to hear a young entrepreneur and what he is doing. We want you to dial into We Got Issues because we got issues to talk about. And today we want you to chime in on our topic, 313-778-7600. And before the show, of course, sometimes we feel like we didn't work well. For the East Coast peeps, it's already 6 o'clock. So welcome to your second or your third job. Get excited. We have had a lot going on today. All good news. But I'm going to bring my girlfriends in. I've cried because I'm happy today, and I've cried because I'm sad. Looking at the news coming out of Afghanistan and just seeing those women and the children and the people clinging to the airplane and the plane taking off and someone dropping from the plane. I mean, it's just, that's not even an issue. It's just, there's really no right, wrong, political, whatever. There's just, that is somebody's child, that's somebody's dad, that's somebody's mom. Those are lives. Those are God's children. And it is just so sad. And then hearing the news coming out of Haiti. Oh my gosh, the news coming out of Haiti.
Crazy.
I've been to 7-point earthquakes, and it's no joke in the infrastructure of the Bay Area, but to have it come out of Haiti that's already been hit in so many ways, people that look like me, it's so sad. So today I'm glad we have a happy topic on today, but girls, it's a lot. And so Sabrina, welcome to We Got Issues. we some emotional people today.
It's heavy news all around us. That Haiti thing, like everything around us, but Haiti, about 1,300 dead, 5,000 injured. I'm sure that number is going to grow. The news out of Afghanistan, COVID cases. You guys know we had Dr. Simpson on, the educator, last week. Well, one of the middle schools that he represents, they went all back to virtual learning. Shut it down.
All of
the middle school. Yeah,
wow.
Shut it down.
Was there
over
incident,
1,000
Sabrina?
cases? Huh?
There was incident. 1,000 cases.
1,000 cases in that district, and so I don't know how we move forward. 1,000 cases. So a middle school has been shut down, taking it all back to virtual learning. So we're troubled from the east, north, south, and west. But we're here, girlfriends. Happy Monday. Glad to see Crisette, Gloria, Caterina, Sabrina. It's the force of friendship. We got issues, but we continue to stand, bring the issues, and talk about them. I'm glad I have girlfriends to talk about them. Hot topics for sure. Gloria, with you all your diamonds, you got all your jewels on. I love all your necklace. Okay.
Go ahead,
Chris,
Chris.
are you trying to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say, Sabrina mentioned about the 100-year-old, the ones that are in in Africa. Tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah. The oh my goodness, you guys, that is some good news. You guys have heard us talk about the survivors of the race massacre in Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921. Can you believe? At 107 years old, her baby brother is 100. It's only 3 survivors left. There's a 106-year-old. She did not make the trip, but they wanted to go to Africa. Dream of a lifetime. And so someone sponsored them. And so they are over in Africa. But can you imagine 107 years old saying, I want to take a trip. Take me to Africa. You know? And she got on that plane. My sister Regina, state representative Regina, helped facilitate, get them over there as well. And she said she talked to them before they left, and they were so excited. They're going to meet with kings and queens, and the red carpet is going to be rolled out. But the energy and the health to be able to travel at that stage and age in life is clearly a blessing. So that's good news. Yeah.
Gloria, what's going on? What's going on?
Oh my goodness.
So
Okay, so
up in there.
Let me tell you something. First, let me say this. To have them go to South Africa was reliving a dream that I've had. You know, I've been to South Africa a couple of times, and to see
Not
them
South
go
Africa, they're in Ghana. They're in Ghana. They're in Ghana.
Oh, they're in Ghana. They're in Ghana. They're
Yeah.
in Ghana. Now, I haven't gone to Ghana, but my brother-in-law's from Ghana. My mother went to Ghana. My sister went to Ghana. So just to go to the continent, just to go to travel like that, just to be out like that, you know, I am excited when I see people living out loud way beyond 100 years. It gives me such hope, and it gives me such excitement that so much is going on. I have to say, Caterina, when I hear what the women are dealing with, I can't even tell you how stuck I get in the reality that in 2021, women are still faced with the fear of a piece of hair showing and they get beat, that their ankle was showing, so they got beat. You know, it's you're right. There's nothing that's political that can take us to the reality of what we saw today. Everything about what we're seeing and when you really acknowledge that you're your brother's keeper, when you really acknowledge that you're, you know, that we are all one, it's very, very hard to see that. But on the other hand, you know, as we come to the force of friendship, we've got to bring a message of what is possible. So we're going to head over to Detroit and see what's going on with Crisette Ellis, because she's had a moving day, like moving. Now that's some happiness. That's some happiness right there.
Yes, all day. You talking about painters and carpenters and electricians, you name it, movers, lots going on, but it's all good. It's always a good day when we're able to come together for we got issues. Well, you guys, I had a full weekend. When I tell you, it was an amazing weekend on on Saturday evening, we had a chance. You guys know, a couple of weeks ago, we had the jazz artist Kimmy Horn on, and she told us her amazing story, and she had her Kimmy Horn Jazz Festival on this past Friday and Saturday, and it was absolutely amazing. When I tell you, it was awesome. So we got a chance to go on Saturday night and sit with her mother. She did a very special tribute to her mom, who turned 80 years old. It was people everywhere. And of course, they were, doing the announcements to stay, so not to social distance, but, to keep your mask on, especially if, you hadn't been vaccinated. So that was really, really nice. The jazz artists were phenomenal. And you guys, let me tell you, they told a story. One of our news casters that was there, she told the story about years ago when Kimmy Horn was doing one of her shows. There was a little girl that was in the audience watching, and she was just dancing around. And so Kimmy noticed her and told her to come on the stage. So she brought her on the stage and she let the little girl dance. And then Carolyn Clifford went on to say, well, this young girl is back tonight. She has a full scholarship to the University of Michigan. She is going to be playing in an upcoming movie that Tyler Perry is producing. And she said, it happens to be my daughter, Brooke Taylor. And when I promise you.
For real. What in the world?
Literally, this young lady came on stage and Kimmy sang the song, I Wish You Dance. When I tell you, it was the most beautiful thing you ever want to see. That young lady is going places. I mean, she was so graceful. Her legs went so high, I felt my body hurt. Okay. That's how it was. One of the most gorgeous things you've ever wanted to see. So I thought that was just such a beautiful story of, and you know how even Marathon, one of our favorite callers, he said how Kimmy always make her audience feel so good. But for her to bring this little girl up to stage at 3 years old, and now to see her blossom into this amazing dancer who has a full ride to the University of Michigan and going to be in one of Tyler Perry's movie. When I tell you, that's how you leave a legacy. That's how you change people's their lives. So that was just so awesome. And then lastly, on Sunday, you guys, the opening weekend for the Respect movie, RESPECT.
Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Let me tell you. We took our senior citizens there, and we rented out a theater, and we take the seniors every year to see a movie. We weren't able to do it because of COVID, but we rented it this year. They were all vaccinated. Everybody that was there was vaccinated. This is my second time seeing it, and it felt as if I was seeing it for the first time. When I tell you, you will laugh and you will cry. I'm telling you, so good. Jennifer Hudson, she needs to get an Oscar for that.
Say it again.
Phenomenal. She needs to get
Jay Hud in the house.
Yeah, Jay Hud all day long. So I mean, you guys, if you have not seen it, I think I'm the only girlfriend on the 4th.
No.
You guys saw it? You saw it?
Oh yeah.
We all saw it. Okay, we all saw it, baby. What you talking about?
No.
What you talking about?
Okay. Well, Sabrina, you said
you got issues. You got issues.
Yeah, she's been under the carpet.
She's been under the carpet,
y'all. She's been under the carpet. She's been under the carpet. Because when I tell you that movie was moving, we had a girls trip out to Utah, and I want to tell you, it wasn't a whole lot of us in the theater, but there was some people in the theater in Utah loving RESPECT. And when I tell you the opening of the mind, so many things they talked about her, so many things that we don't know that people have done, that we would respect and know what they've done for the world beyond her voice. But at the end, when she walked out with the baddest fur coat I have ever seen,
come on,
again, I'm telling you, I've seen that coat so many times, but it is the baddest coat I've ever seen. She dropped that sucker out like Riri. What a role model. Amazing.
I mean, it was so good. And yeah, we made sure we had the whole back row to ourselves. I was like, get the big theater seat so ain't nobody on the left or the right. Somebody walked past my mom. I was like, how close you gonna sit? Because we will move. Okay, but man, it was so good. And I whispered to my mom, I said, I know we're the only ones here who was at the funeral. And can you believe that we rode here in the same car that we rode in the procession? So Chris, we just can't thank you enough. That was the experience of a lifetime.
Right.
And
It was
her story.
amazing. You know, we went to the movie. I went with my girlfriend that I reconnected with after the show. Gloria, you said we got to reconnect with the girlfriends. Reconnected with my girlfriend, Patty. Hadn't seen her in 27 years. And we went to BU together, grad school together, and we went to the movie. It was 10 people in the movie theater. Everybody was masked. It was a fabulous experience. My first time being back in the theater since a year and a half or so. And I mean, J Hud was so good. I was like, sang Riri. And I'm like, oh, that ain't Riri. That's J Hud. Okay.
I know. She was so good. So good. So good.
It was good. A shout out to David Jackson, who is my first bishop's grandson, who plays for J Hud. So I was a shout out. I know that he was on keys in the background for her. It was just amazing. It was amazing. So that is some good news. That's some good news. And if you haven't seen it, go out and support a sister. Go out and support the movie this week. Well, oh my gosh, so much happening. But today we are talking stocks, y'all. Stocks are soaring and most Black people are missing out. Nearly half of all U.S. households do not own stocks, and a disproportionate number of them are from Black and other minority households. 33.5% of Black households own stock in 2019, according to the data by the Federal Reserve. Among white households, it was 61%. Hispanic and minority households also are less likely than white families to own stock. Many reasons behind this split. I'm going to talk more about those reasons after our break, because we just have a few minutes before the break and I want to bring in our guests, y'all. Today we have on the show the amazing, and I'm excited to get to know him through his father, Bryson. I am so excited to welcome Bryson to the show. Let's give it up for Bryson Stephens. Yay! A 19-year-old serial entrepreneur who runs not one, but two companies. His first company, B Money Enterprises, specializes in building wealth, whether the economy is good or bad, with stock, wholesale real estate, and e-commerce. And his second business, y'all, not one, but two, he is a prolific investment, specializes in strictly trading in the stock market. He has personally been responsible, y'all, for $300,000 in growth from his client success stories and is headed toward making that number in excess of $1 million by the end of 2021. Would y'all give a shout out for Bryson? Hey.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
We are excited for you being on the show. We have just a couple minutes before we go to break. We're going to dig deep when we come back. But Bryson, just take a moment and tell us a little bit about yourself. Lead us up to this young 19-year-old entrepreneurial success.
Yeah, so pretty much like she said, my name is Bryson Stephens. I'm 19 years old and I run two businesses. So in the pandemic, or actually before the pandemic, I got a full ride scholarship to Cal Poly Pomona for basketball. And so after I got that scholarship, that's when the pandemic hit. And I was kind of just like I started falling out of love with basketball, and I kind of wanted to take my finances more serious. And once I took my finances more serious, that's when I learned about the stock market. I actually saw somebody flip at least like 10,000 to 2 million in 2 months in the pandemic. So that's when I took the initiative to learn how to trade in the stock market. And ever since I learned how to trade in the stock market, I've grown my net worth to over 6 figures. And now I have 300,000 plus in client success stories.
That is so exciting. Woo, woo, woo. Tell us, just before we go to break, tell us about one or two of those client success stories, or before we talk about the client success stories, just a couple things that you've been blessed to do just since November 2020, because of your success by yourself.
Yeah, so a thing that I would say I was blessed that I've been able to do is spoil my parents. On Father's Day, I was able to give my dad like a big stack of cash. It was like, that was a good moment. And then the next thing would be buying my mom this expensive necklace. So like I went to the jeweler and I bought her like a $5,000 diamond necklace. So that was two of my favorite accomplishments. And then my last one would be, out of the money that I earned from the stock market, I was then able to travel the world with my girlfriend.
Okay, Bryson. That is awesome. That is awesome. We are excited to get to know. There are so many young Black Americans that started investing in the stock market during the pandemic. We're going to learn more about that. We are going to go and take a break and come back and dig deep and maybe even get some stock tips that'll work for you, whether you're 19 or 99. So thanks for listening to We Got Issues.
Code 910 AM. Our new menu items include gluten-free wraps, spinach wraps, fried spicy buffalo cauliflower, and sweet potato maple cheesecake. Don't forget about our always delicious Seiginsburg corned beef, our fresh hand patty charbroiled 100% premium beef burgers, and our homemade teriyaki stir fries. Central Park Deli has curbside service available and DoorDash delivery. Come visit us today. This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples connected amazing prices for everything on your back-to-school list. Right now, Crayola 12-count colored pencils, 10 plus 2 Crayola marker bonus packs, and Staples 2-pack scissors are just 97 cents each. Offer ends 9/18, limit 30 on Crayola.
All right, Facebook family, how are you? We were a little confused on who was doing what. So thank you for being here. It's Monday. Every day is Monday. We're so glad that you're here. Bryson, 19 years old, slaying in the stock market, making investments, making moves at 19 years old. Come on, you guys. We've got to get with it. We've got to get with it. They make it so easy now. On Cash App, they give you an opportunity to invest in the stocks right there in the Cash App. And so start taking baby steps. He's going to tell us how he started. But what we want you to do is take a step. I mean, we got to play this game. And I used to be one, honestly, because I didn't grow up with a family that talked about investments and the stock market. But I will tell you what, these millennials, these young people, they are smart, they are aggressive, they're intuitive, and they are taking chances. The biggest misnomer, I believe, is that I always thought you had to have a whole lot of money to invest, but you don't. You really don't. But I do think you need to be educated. Bryson's going to tell us all about it, but you do want to start being educated, taking some chances, because when it works, it works. But when it doesn't work, hey, you're not a happy camper. Because I've been watching some of that stuff. My son, he's 22, 21, and Quincy's really into it. During the pandemic, he got into it. He said, put this with me. Let's invest in this. All right. Okay, Quincy. Okay. So I give him 200, 500, 1,000 over there. And they said, Mom, it's not looking good. Those days, I'm not happy. But then when it's rising and it's good, I said, I get excited. And so it's important, you guys, to be educated, well-rounded, increase that financial portfolio, and not be scared. A lot of good things to invest in right now. A lot of things to stay away from. Right?
We are back. We are back. I think I'm frozen for my Facebook audience. Okay, I think I'm back. As I was saying before we went to break, many young Black Americans started investing in the stock market during the pandemic. A lot of Black Americans under the age of 40 started investing in the stock market, and 30% of Black investors under 40 got into the market for the first time during 2020. And so we have one such young man on the show today, Bryson Stephens, who is talking to us about the stock market. And so can you just tell us, Bryson, how did you learn? How did you learn? What happened? Talk to us about how did you get up on this knowledge?
Yeah, so since I'm young, obviously I like social media. And so I was on Instagram and I came across somebody's page who, flipped that $10,000 to $2 million. And so I took an online course, and that's how I learned how to actually read a stock chart. And that's how I learned how to know when stocks go up or down. And so just me being a beginner to the stock market, I didn't know that you could bet on stocks to go either direction. I thought you just invest in the stock, you wait for it to go up. But when you options trade in the stock market, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but when you're an options trader, you can bet on stocks to go up, which is buying a call, and you can bet on stocks to go down, which is buying a put. And so I took that online course, I learned how to read a chart, and then I took off from there.
That's so good. Okay, so assume that some of us out here, as I bring the girlfriends in, are very new, or maybe are among those African Americans that aren't investing in the stock market. Like, how did you start? What was your first stock? And then kind of explain to us, because you talked about stocks, e-commerce, wholesale real estate. Like, what does all that mean? Like, break it down for us.
Yeah, so we'll talk about the stock market first. So when it comes to just regularly investing in the stock market, you can buy companies and buy them long term or short term. And so if you have capital saved up, you put that money into a stock. And if that stock goes up, you make money. So for an example, let's say you guys believe in tech companies. Let's say you bought 10 shares of Apple. Okay. And so if you bought 10 shares of Apple and that stock goes up $1, you then make $10. And so the first stock that I personally bought was Square. I don't know if you guys have heard of Cash App, but that's what Square is. Yeah. So my first stock I bought was Square. And my first day in the stock market, after I learned it and like demo traded all that, my first day in the stock market, I made $5,000. And then my first week, I made $14,000. And I was like, oh, like I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life. Can't nobody tell me nothing. I'm about to retire my parents. It's over, right?
You can write for the rest of my life too, Bryson. For the rest of my life too, for real. Right now.
Yeah. So then that next week, when the stock market opened on Monday, I lost the whole 14,000. I got cocky, I got greedy, and I didn't follow my rules. And so that's when I learned, I was like, okay, let me lock in and let me figure out how to be a consistent, profitable trader. So then I started back testing and studying and learning how to read a stock chart in depth. So now I know if the stock is going to go up or down. And so now to just kind of introduce e-commerce is selling a product online. So I know you guys are familiar with makeup, right? You can sell makeup online, whether it's through Instagram, whether it's through Facebook. And so e-commerce allows you to do drop shipping on platforms such as Amazon and Shopify. And so let's say you have a supplier who gives you a product, like, let's just say it's a chair, and it costs $1,000 for this chair. I can go to a supplier and get the chair for $500 and then go sell it on my Shopify store for $1,000. So then that's a $500 net profit that you make when you're selling that product. Okay. And so what I do on my e-commerce store is I sell outdoor luxury. I do pizza ovens. I do outdoor furniture. I do a lot of things that have to do with outdoor luxury. And since I'm doing high ticket drop shipping, I'm expecting my store to do 20 to 100,000 a month, every single month when I'm doing that. And when I do low ticket drop shipping, like selling, let's just say a fidget spinner for $5, even though I got it for 99 cents, I'm looking to do 5 to maybe 7,000 a month. Okay. So that's what e-commerce is. And the next thing that I do is wholesale real estate. Wholesale real estate is it's funny because a lot of people think to get in real estate, you need a lot of money or you need a license to flip homes. And so with wholesale real estate, you don't need credit and you don't need a license, because there's legal documents set in place to flip a wholesale real estate deal. And so I'm gonna give you guys an example. Let's say I'm the wholesaler. Let's say Bob is the seller, and let's say John is the buyer. Okay. And so I'm gonna, as a wholesaler, target distressed properties, and these properties can have like tax liens or foreclosures, whatever the case may be. But let's say I'm gonna take you through a deal that I actually personally flipped. I found a deal in Wisconsin. This person needed to sell their home. It was approximately worth $37,000. Okay. And so I got the house under contract for $37,000. And then I found a cash buyer and assigned it for $56,000. Okay. And so I made that profit from that $37,000 to $56,000 because I assigned it. And so just to kind of go more in depth about the wholesale real estate, it's more so you target distressed properties, you get it under contract. And so you didn't buy the property, you just got it under contract that you can purchase it, but you're more so finding a cash buyer. And so I then got that property under contract. And what I did is I told the seller, I'm going to close this house in 30 days or less, and I'm going to get it off your hands. And so me being a wholesaler, I found that buyer, and then I told him, hey, this house right here, this is a good investment property. it goes for around 60,000. He was like, okay, let's negotiate it. I was like, okay, what are you looking for? And he was like, how about 58? Or no, he was like, what about 56? And I was like, okay, yeah, we can definitely do that. And so we wrote up the legal contracts, we did all the documents, and then I sold it to a cash buyer for 56,000. So now I made all that profit from 36 to 56,000. So that's what wholesale real estate is.
I have two questions for you, Bryson. The first question is, it's impossible for you to be 19. Okay, I'm just gonna say you cannot be 19 years old. Okay, because I'm leaning in like he's 60, 65 years. I mean, when I tell you, hats off to you, because you know your stuff. So you know what? Go ahead with your bad self. That's the first thing I need to say.
Thank you.
And so the second thing is when you're talking about the wholesale real estate. So you said you find these properties that are either in foreclosure or have something else going on, and you put them under contract. Now, is your contract for a limited amount of time? So like 30 days. And let's say in 30 days, you weren't able to find somebody to purchase it. You're not on the hook. Why would they let you? Are you the only one that is selling this property in 30 days? And if you don't sell it in 30 days, are you on the hook for the cost of that property?
Yeah. So when you have a wholesale real estate contract, you have it under contract for 30 days. Let's say you couldn't find a cash buyer in 30 days or less. You can also negotiate with the seller like, yo, I need 15 more days to do this. So you can have an addendum, which is an extra contract that allows you to do 15 days, 28, whatever you negotiate with the seller. But no matter what, even if you didn't negotiate or the deal just didn't go through, you're not liable for anything. All you did was get it under contract. So you don't have to pay that 37,000 or however much you got the property under contract for. It's 100%, you're in the clear. So all you need to do is really just find a cash buyer. And so you can negotiate, to answer your question, for a longer expiration date, or you can just let the deal go and there's no penalty.
Are there other people trying to sell it too, or no?
Say that again.
I said, when you're under contract, somebody else can't sell that property. Is it just you and that person?
Yeah, it's just me who can sell it, but I could also do a joint venture deal. And let's just say I couldn't find a cash buyer in Wisconsin, right? I could go to somebody who knows, like who has a network of cash buyers in Wisconsin. We can draw up a joint venture deal. We could put both of our signatures on there. So then when we close the deal under my corporation, all I do is just send his corporation half the profit because he helped me find the cash buyer. So that's called a joint venture deal.
I want you, I'm going to bring the girlfriends in, Bryson, but I want folks to know, how did you get the money to start investing? Because, I should have played the song, I'm a hustler, baby, because you worked it out yourself, your parents, and give a shout out to your parents and how you got your entrepreneurial, strength from your parents.
Yeah.
So go for it.
Yeah. So I got my entrepreneurial mindset from my father, because obviously he runs his business. He does taxes and accounting. He's pretty much a tax accountant. So I got that entrepreneurial mindset from my father. But how I saved up my money personally is in the pandemic, I door dashed. Okay. And so I was a door dasher. Anything that I put my mind to, I tend to master it, because my dad always told me, and my mom always told me as well, like, whatever you do, don't be a jack of all trades. Like, you need to master it. So I never worked a job before a day in my life, but then I started seeing like I could really make money doing DoorDash. I'm self-employed. I get a lot of tax benefits. And I was like, I like this. I made $100 like my first day. Right. And so I then saw that I made $100 in 4 hours. I see that the minimum wage in California is like $12 to $15, whatever the case may be. But I was making 25 to 30 an hour door dashing. So as I started seeing this, I'm like, so I'm working smarter, not harder during the pandemic by door dashing. And I saved up about, I think, 10,000. Yeah, I saved up 10,000 during DoorDash because I was making 2,800 a month. And I actually have the check, like my first check that I did, that I invested in the stock market with too.
Let me go give me some DoorDash.
Check.
Okay.
Okay.
Give me some DoorDash.
I mean, for
Okay.
real. If I do
But for real, because
DoorDash, I can get
DoorDash
a
is
Fendi
amazing.
shirt. That's what I'm saying. If I can do DoorDash, can I get that shirt you got on right now? But
Okay.
that's a fabulous shirt, and I want to DoorDash all the way down live, all the way live.
Okay.
Man.
So Gloria, I know you love entrepreneurs. We celebrate entrepreneurs. Just I'm just bringing the girlfriends in here to celebrate, and then I want Bryson to talk about his B Money University as well. So, Gloria, what you got?
I am excited for you, and this is what I know. At 19 years old, with your vision and your foresight and your tenacity, you probably have looked to the left and looked to the right, and your success has made some others uncomfortable, but you forge ahead in spite of. So can you talk a little bit about how you decide to forge ahead in spite of? Because it seems to me that what you do is bury your head in what you want to master, and you're not looking to the left, you're not looking to the right. Can you speak a little bit about that? Because I am completely impressed. Like Chris said, she had a question. I have a question. What's the email? But we'll ask about that later. But how do you prevent yourself from looking to the left and looking to the right when you are making other people uncomfortable with your degree of success?
Yeah, so when it comes to just like making people uncomfortable, ever since I've grown up, and it's probably because of like my dad too, and basketball, it's more so I never really cared what people thought about me. Like I was always taught like, it doesn't matter what nobody thinks about you, as long as the people that you love and you know take care of you, they support you, whatever like that, you'll be fine. And so like I even took it a step further. Like I don't care what anybody thinks of me. You can hate on me, you can call me a scammer, you can call me this, whatever. I'm not going to care, because regardless, I know that I'm a light bright in like a lot of people's lives. I'm inspiring a lot of people. I have a lot of client success stories, and it's not like I'm just keeping the money to myself and I'm like just being weird about it. So when it comes to looking left or right, I don't really look, because I don't really care what people think about me.
Good for you.
Excellent. Bryson, I got a question. I mean, first, you are just really amazing, young, bright young man. I mean, give it up for the young brothers in the house, okay? I mean, really, these are the stories, okay? Yeah. I mean, I want to see you on CNN, Fox, the New York Times, the LA Times. This is who we want to see on the front of our newspapers. This is who we want to see on the daily news shows. Because honestly, it's some more of you out there. We just have to expose them to the world. And so thank you for being that example. Now tell me about school. Because of the pandemic and because you're rolling in the dough and you found another path, will you go back to play basketball? Have you put school on the back burner? What will your future look like? Yeah,
so my future looks like, so I dropped out of college recently, and because I stopped like basketball and things like that, and I wanted to pursue this entrepreneur like journey, I guess you can say. And so I've been blessed with the opportunity to actually go live with my friend who just got drafted to the NBA. And so I'm also going to be connecting and networking out there, because I'm going to be connected with the NBA players as well. And so my goal would be to actually get a financial advisor's license. And so I feel like in the future, I probably would just finish school, get my degree and things like that. But I really would more so just want to focus on getting my license to be a financial advisor.
Beautiful. What we find is that in this day and age, formal education, like a four-year college, is not necessary, mandatory. And doing what you're doing is a beautiful thing. So right on, brother. Do you. Right on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it. I've been saying throughout this whole pandemic that brick and mortar is out of order, and that I've been really studying this K economy. The upper part of the K are people that make money with their fingerprints, and the bottom part of the K are people that make money with their footprints. Can you talk about, I heard you on another interview talking about how you looked at all the loss, and you were like, but how are all these people making money? Like, just talk a little bit about that, because clearly you are visionary. You saw it. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so in the pandemic, I saw a lot of people losing their jobs. I saw a lot of people digging in their savings account, and just seeing that, it kind of made me think like, okay, I can never let somebody have that much control over me to the point where they can fire me at any moment. And so another thing that I looked at it was more so like, I'm giving them control and I'm making them more money, but I'm not getting paid for my work. So I always think about it as like a McDonald's worker, and no disrespect to any person that works at McDonald's. My thing is like, if you work for McDonald's, right, and you're making, let's just say $12 an hour, this is a million, maybe $1 billion company, but you're only getting paid minimum wage. So technically you're not getting paid for what your worth is. And so I feel like maybe if the minimum wage went up, like inflation will get high and like all this stuff will like be bad for the economy. But my thing is like, I feel like people need to know their worth. And it's like, you can literally go DoorDash. If you don't have the funds to do anything right now, what I did was I DoorDashed. Okay. And so you can't make the excuse that you don't have a car, you don't have it, because you can actually go rent a car on websites like Turo. And there's a few other websites that you could rent cars out for cheap and use that DoorDash money to pay for it, pay for your gas, with also keeping profit in your bank account. And so back to the question that you asked, my thing was, I just really didn't like how a lot of people were losing their jobs. And then I saw a lot of people making a lot of money. And so with the people that were making a lot of money was the people doing stocks, e-commerce, and wholesale real estate. So when I saw the stock market, I saw somebody flip 10,000 to 2 million. When I saw wholesale real estate, I saw somebody do $80,000 on one deal. And then when I saw e-commerce, I actually saw somebody recently who just did or who just did 10 million from January to July. And I was like, hold on, people are making a lot of money with e-commerce, wholesale real estate, and stocks. So what I did was I mastered all of it, but I actually have a team set in place to help me with managing my 2 companies, helping me keep track of my finances, helping me just with everything. Like, that's why I have a team involved. And that's why I'm also starting B Money University. And B Money University is where I teach everybody live what I do, like how we're on this live webinar. I teach people live how to trade in the stock market. My assistant teaches people how to do wholesale real estate live. And then my partner, Jared, he does the e-commerce like portion, and he teaches everybody live. And so that's what I do inside of B Money University as well. And there's the link right there, just dropped in the comment section. And
Bryson,
I'm giving
say it
everybody
out loud for the Facebook, say it out loud for the radio audience, your website and your Instagram.
Oh yeah.
For the radio listeners.
So the website to join B Money University is learn.bmoneyenterprises.com. And I'll say it again, learn.bmoneyenterprises.com. And so I wanted to give everybody a special discount on here. Everybody can get 20% off. It's called, and the discount code is launch 2021. And the discount code is launch in all caps. So LAUNCH 2021. That's the discount code. Everybody gets 20% off.
Mm-hmm. And tell them, and it's I mean, I'm excited about what you're doing on a monthly basis. It can fit into everyone's budget if they would like to learn and glean from what you are sharing. I love also that you are preparing for your future. So can you talk about some of the long-term things that you were doing? I was all over all the different interviews that you've done, and I want to be sure that you bring that to the We Got Issues audience also, about your Roth IRA, the life insurance, just how you're preparing, because the stock market's up and down. You're learning how to make money when it's up, how to make money when it's down, but you got yourself covered for your future as well. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So when I say that I'm covered future-wise, it's because I have a long-term portfolio. I actually saved up more than that DoorDash money, which was 10,000, but I saved about 25,000 in the pandemic as well. You know, just hustling, doing me, whether it's DoorDashing or things like that. And so my dad actually told me, he was like, yo, you're making all this money, you need to learn how to grow it. And he started showing me his portfolio. I'm like, whoa, like, you got money. Like, I knew he had money, but I didn't know he had that type of money. Right. And so then I was like, okay, I need to start me a long-term portfolio. He's like, yeah, just put 1,000 in just to start. And I was like, okay, cool. I opened up my account, put the whole 25,000 in, because I'm a person that's going to bet on myself. I put my whole life savings into the stock market, literally, and put all my DoorDash money into the stock market as well. And I started a long-term portfolio. Then after I got into like stocks and I'm like, oh, there's other ways to invest in myself long-term, my friend, is actually a financial advisor, and he told me about Roth IRAs. So then he started explaining the difference of a Roth IRA, a mutual fund, a 401k, life insurance. He gave me the whole spill on everything. And I actually invested into a Roth IRA. I invested in my life insurance. And I also did a mutual fund because I wasn't really that patient person. So I don't know if you guys know what a Roth IRA is, but if you invest money into a Roth IRA, you can't touch it till the age of 59 and a half. Me being 18 in the pandemic, I was like, I'm not waiting that long. Like, I'm not going to wait till I'm 59 and a half. I want my money right now. I don't care if it's 5, 10 million later. I need my money now. And so then I started a mutual fund as well. But then as I became more knowledgeable that you're not going to really get rich going slow, you'll get wealth. You'll get rich going slow, but you'll get wealthy long term. And so, yeah, once I learned that long term game, that's when I was fully invested in the long term. So now, like, all the money that I get right now, I'm more so looking to invest in long term through stocks or invest it into my e-commerce stores. And then the money I get from wholesale real estate, all going straight to the stock market long term.
This is so good. This is so good. We have callers. We got 3 callers. So we're going, oh my gosh, we got Marathon, Sylvia, Lakeem, and okay, so we're going to Sylvia first. Sylvia, thanks for listening to We Got Issues.
I'm so impressed with this young man. I don't know what to do. I'm over here floored. But I myself is dabbling in a lot of investments as well, and I'm trying to learn the game with the crypto. And I am so impressed with his story about his real estate. I just want to know, how can I keep in touch with him so that I could, I want that success to rub off on me and my family. So I can't hear through the phone real good, so I'm going to hang up real quick so he can again give us some kind of way of keeping, in touch, in contact, because I want some success like that to rub off real fast. Yes. Bryson, give your IG, your Instagram as well as your website one more time.
Yeah, so my Instagram is bmoney_enterprises. So yeah, bmoney_enterprises. That's my Instagram. That's how you can get in contact with me. And the website is learn.bmoneyenterprises.com. And so for anybody who just showed up, I'm giving a 20% discount to anybody who joins today. The discount code is LAUNCH 2021. And the word launch is all caps, LAUNCH, LAUNCH 2021.
We're going to the next caller, and if anyone misses that as you're driving, you can go to the Force of Friendship on Facebook or our YouTube channel, and you will see it in the comments as well. We're going to my man, Marathon. Thanks for calling in the We Got Issues. And then Lakeem, just stay right with us. Go ahead, Marathon.
Yeah, enjoying the show. Just letting me know that I'm on the right track as far as my production company. I started singing jingles when I lived in Dallas. So I said, why should I just sing jingles? Write and produce it. So that's what I'm doing now.
Awesome. Making money, investing, making money. We appreciate you for calling in and being a faithful We Got Issues listener. We are going to Lakeem. Am I saying it correctly?
Actually, he hung up. He just needed the info to get in touch with your guest.
Okay. They're calling in. So, Bryson, so much we can do. But can we just drop just 1 or 2 tips? Because you said when you lost the money, you didn't.
Values and some of your rules, like what are a couple of those values and rules that you stay within to make sure you ain't losing $14,000 at a time?
Yeah, so since I'm a day trader, it's going to be hard for some to understand, but anybody who day trades like with options in the stock market, there's this thing called a stop loss. And so just to kind of make it like minimize, what I do is I have a 15 to 20% stop loss. So let's just say I put up $1,000 on a trade, right? I'm going to make sure that I don't lose, or I'm going to make sure that I only lose 15 to 20%. Right. So every time I go down to that 15 to 20% level, I cut my losses every time. Okay. And so my gains is this max, like it doesn't matter. I can make $1 million from 1,000 if I wanted, but I'm only going to lose 15 to 20% of what I put up. And as I started doing that, my gains started maximizing and my losses were not really coming that much anymore. And if it was a loss, it's like, oh, I lost $150. That's not too much.
Mm-hmm. As a day trader, what does your day look like? Like, what do? Do you wake up, stock, go to bed, stock in between? How do you manage your day?
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell you about like my daily schedule, but just if you just want to day trade, a lot of people think you have to sit behind a laptop or a computer all day, and that is not the case. I literally trade from 6:30 in the morning when the stock market opens, Pacific time, from 6:30 in the morning to 7:30 in the morning. I only trade an hour a day. I don't care what happens at 7:31 till the stock market closes. I only trade from 6:30 in the morning to 7:30, and so I only spend about an hour in the stock market. I may spend an extra hour or more so practicing, which is called back testing, like testing my strategies, keeping up on my game and things like that. But just to kind of talk about my daily schedule, is hectic just because I do so many things at once. So I wake up at 5 a.m. every single day. That's just I have to stay disciplined with that. I wake up at 5 a.m. I'll shower, whatever, wash my face. And then I actually run a Signals group chat. And so my Signals group chat is where I give out my daily plays with the stock market. And I'm also trading at the same time at 6:30. After I'm done trading, which is 7:30, I'll then do mentorships. And so I offer personal mentorship as well for people who are more so one-on-one learners. They don't want to join something that I have like a course or the B-Money University where I teach people live. They more so want that one-on-one personal mentorship. So I'll do mentorships for like 1 to 3 hours, depending on which day it is. And so let's just say it's a long day. I'll do mentorships from 7:30 to possibly 10:30. Okay, then after that, I'll finally go eat some breakfast. After I'm done eating breakfast, I'll then go hop on the phone call with my team. Like, what do we got to do today? What's next? Things like that. Whether it's wholesale real estate, we have an agenda, making 50 to 100 phone calls a day, just networking and connecting. And then I got to hop on the phone with my boy, Jared. We're talking about the e-commerce store. Yo, we need to close this supplier. Can you give me this information? Okay, here's my information, blah, blah, blah. Like, we're just getting everything up and running. And then after I'm done with that, I have to create content for my social media, whether it's posting on my story, whether it's posting on Instagram. And so if you run a social media that has content that needs to be made, it's kind of hard because like you got to think of new content every single day to keep people engaged, keep people happy with what you do, things like that. So I'll create content for my Instagram, and I like to just broadcast my daily life since, there's a lot of haters out there. I don't really care like about the haters, but there's a lot of haters out there. So like I'll literally broadcast everything I do on my Instagram, whether it's how much money I make in a day, whether it's the food I'm eating, the new city that I'm in, the new country that I traveled to, the new clothes I just bought, the city that I broadcast everything so people know that I'm not lying. Like I wouldn't eat at 5-star restaurants almost every day if I was lying about how much money I made. So when people see me post like stock market profits or people see me eating here or shopping there, they'll be like, oh, like that's fake and blah, blah, blah. How is it fake if I'm doing it every day? And so I like to broadcast my lifestyle, and I like to broadcast it because, it's a tax write-off. And so if I'm out eating and I post, let's just say yesterday I had some lobster and like all this other stuff, right? I had a nice meal yesterday. I posted it, right? That lobster actually brought me 2 clients. And so, it was a business meeting. And so that tax write-off is going to go under meals and entertainments. And so, that's a nice little tax write-off right there. And then let's just say for traveling or the clothes that I'm wearing. So like, let's just say like I have a Fendi shirt on right now, right? And so I have a Fendi shirt on that I bought, right? But I bet you if I get some clients right now who want to join B-Money University, that's a write-off because I bought this shirt because maybe some of you guys like Fendi. And so it's just strategic things that I do, whether it's a tax write-off, whether it's to bring clients, or whether it's to just broadcast that I'm not fake. Mm-hmm. And so that's my daily schedule.
So smart. So smart. So
smart. Love your shirt.
Yeah, we just celebrate
Thank you.
I mean, seriously, we just celebrate you. We celebrate you. We celebrate you and what you're doing. Smart, so smart. Your future is so bright. And
So
we're
bright.
excited
So
that
bright.
you're excited about taking others with you. There's nothing wrong with letting others see you shine, especially
Right.
when you are willing and excited to share, to teach. So we have about 3 minutes left. Give them just like, what are they going to get if they're a part of B Money University? What would they get even if in a month? Like, because seriously, a lot of us are like, I want to learn. I want to learn.
Yeah. So a good thing about B Money University is I offer 2 different tiers for people who can't afford it or people who just want the education. So inside of B Money University, my team and I actually teach you how to do everything live on a webinar. Whereas opposed to if you get an online course, you're just listening to a video, taking notes on it. So on that live webinar, you're allowed to ask me questions. You're allowed to listen to me teach you live. You're allowed to tell me to stop at any moment of time. You're literally just listening to me and my team as we teach you live. And so tier 1 is $49.99 a month. Okay. And so you'll get access to how to become an entrepreneur, which is running a business, starting a business, running a business, and scaling it. So like I know the back end of like business, which is starting it, like which type of corporation fits you, and then learning how to run it, keeping track of your finances and bookkeeping and network and marketing. And then scaling it is, running ads on it. So I'm going to be handling the entrepreneur aspect, and my assistant's going to be handling the wholesale real estate aspect. And then my friend Jared is actually going to be doing the e-commerce portion. And so that's $49.99 a month. And so in tier 2, it's $99 a month, and you'll get access to all those webinars. Plus I'm doing stock market webinars, and you'll get all access to me. You'll get access to all the plays I make on a daily basis. You'll get access to my long-term portfolio, and you get to schedule 2 free Zoom calls of personal mentorship every single month if you pay for tier 2. And you get to schedule 2 Zoom calls a month with me, my assistant, or my partner, Jared. And you get the personal mentorship, you get the live webinars. And lastly, if you want to make money, like let's say you just don't know how to make money from everything that we teach you, we offer affiliate marketing. And so every time you get somebody to sign up under your code, you get 10% of the sale. So if you wanted to be just somebody who wants passive income, you just want to get people to sign up to B Money University, you will get paid for that. All you have to do is give me your email, and my merchant account will automatically send the funds to your account after you get people to sign up to your code. So just to kind of reiterate everything, you'll learn from my team and I live on a webinar. You'll get mentorships if you do in tier 2, which is $99 a month. And you also do affiliate marketing.
It was so good, so good. Well, we are the girlfriends that celebrate, encourage, affirm. I guarantee we are all following you on Instagram. We are excited about what you're creating. Come on back when you're flying in your own private plane, okay? Come on back, come on back, come on back. I can't wait. You will be one we'll have on the girls' trip. Come teach all the ladies how to invest. Thank you so much, Bryson Stephens. We celebrate you. And thank you for listening to We Got Issues, starting the week off right. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Thank you so much for having me. Goodbye, everybody.
Wow.
Hang tight 1 second. Hold on 1 second, Bryson. Oh my gosh, he left. I forgot to tell him. Facebook. What? Oh, he's still there. He's still there. Just say, our Facebook audience is just there, and I know the chat is. I don't even know if you're on Facebook. Some of the young folks ain't even on Facebook, but the chat was blowing up just celebrating you. So thanks for what you share.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Very impressive. Like very exciting. And I just want you to know how critical it is to have a Black man at your age so invested in sharing what you've already learned. And I just know that so many other young Black men needing role models for money,
Right,
making money, understanding what money can do for them. I'm so proud of you, and thank you for what you're doing.
Most definitely.
Thank
you for having me as well.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. Thank you, Facebook, for listening in, and check out his website. All right. Bye-bye, Facebook.